Now, the rest of the story.
I'm raking with the New Holland rake, kicking up some dust. I'm using the 76, not because it's easier to turn on the headlands. It's actually miserable. The problem is I'm in a maybe acre and a half piece of hay. Dad is down here with the 79 and the Rhino rake. He is out on the bottom ground, and this is also like a secondary bottom ground, whatever. It's kind of a pain. Not that it can't be raked with the Rhino rake, but it's actually a little bit simpler just to do it with the New Holland. And I actually have maybe 3 other places on this whole acreage down here that it's honestly easier to just use the roll-bar rake, the New Holland here. The reason I didn't bother doing the 40/20 and bringing it down is because the road speed on the 76 compared to the 40/20 is about 10 miles an hour faster, and it was worth the time saving just to use the 76 to drive down here, because it's going to take me less than 30 minutes to actually get this raked up. And I'm going to bug out, head back home. The 82 and the 569 are ready to run. Ryan was 3 hours away. He was 3 hours away 2 hours ago. I just got done tedding this last night, and I cut it 4 days ago. 3 days ago, and the combination of mature grass and regrowth coming up through it, it honestly looks like second cut in the windrow. Second cut, it looks like second cut after it was tedded. Tedding it, went through it, kind of stirred it all up. It kind of breaks up some of that more mature, larger stemmed material. And I like tedding. It's on a case-by-case situation. I don't really get too concerned about tedding alfalfa ground at all. Because we generally, it's not something we have to deal with or have to worry about. But the nice thing about raking with one of these is you got to make it up as you go. Close enough. Tedding like this grass down here, it definitely gives me a better dry down, a more thorough dry down on it. And it'd be a nightmare trying to make this much material with just cutting it and hoping for the best. I mean, especially when we had months like June and July. June, really, for how wet it was, like it was raining every 3rd day. Hence why I didn't bother cutting this, because as long as it is still standing, I know it's overripe. It's not like alfalfa where it gets woody and disgusting. It gets coarse and the cows don't really want it. But grass, even though the first cut is a bigger stem, it's coarser, the cows are still eating it. That's actually what I've been putting in for the cows here, and they're mowing it right down. But this stuff is the dustiest stuff that I actually have. It didn't outright flood, but you know, it did carry up some of that water up underneath it. Tedding it out did knock a lot of the dirt out of it. Raking it is going to knock a lot of the dirt out of it. I mean, it's not nearly as bad as what it was when I raked up or tedded it last night. But it's getting a lot of the dirt and everything out of it. As far as baling goes, I was thinking we were going to be baling it tomorrow because I just wanted to make certain it was going to be dry. But we came down and checked it, and all the tough spots that I had last night are pretty well gone. I am turning up, or at least down along the trees, I am turning up some tougher stuff, but this is going to be the last little area that I actually end up baling. So I mean, it can sit here, it'll be a few hours before I even begin to think to get to this. And it's worth the hassle to come down and bring a separate tractor and rake down to get it made up. And you've heard me say it enough times, but the goal is to still try to get some form of a second cut off of this. There are not a lot. I'd say I'm about 98% of what I have typically cut down here to cut yet, where it's still standing. And we give it another month to dry out, with if we're not looking at much for flooding conditions. I'll probably be able to get 100% of everything, and I'll clean up some of those areas then. Yeah, I will still end up making them because I am a individual that it might not be good enough for cow feed, but at the same time, it's not free because I'm paying to be here. And I'm gonna make pretty much everything I can because I can take it up and use it as bedding. Because leaving it stand is actually gonna hurt me more than going through and just getting it baled. Get it up off the ground, let the ground breathe, and get the sunlight, and any nutrients aren't exactly being tied up in it anymore. Because then I can at least, the cows will knock it around, they'll eat what they want out of it. Then I can shove it up in a manure pile and haul it out as compost. Waste not, I guess. Mostly blue sky. The clouds are intermittent. But this stuff, this will be all right. I'm feeling a lot better about it, actually on the verge of baling it, than I was just trying to get it cut. Getting it cut was a pain, largely just because going through the mower, and there was so much material going through the mower that it wasn't falling away from the back end where like went off the flails. And what was happening is the flails would catch it and try pulling it back around. Never had that before. Goes to say how much material is actually here, I guess. They say feel free to comment down below. I should just do another video when I'm baling later, but I'm not even willing to begin to guess how many bales will be down here. Should I just sound negative and just say never enough? The first crop a couple years ago off the whole farm was a few hundred. And I'm not even 100% sure what we got off the rest of that, because I never checked the counter before we zeroed out the counter on the other baler. So I think just off the cuff I was figuring like 300. That's unconfirmed. So I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna go back and get this tractor hooked up to the baler and then actually bring the 82 down. I may actually set the kicker up on the 569 because we're baling our flattest ground that we farm. Granted, it's flood prone bottom ground, but it is kind of fun to have some flat ground to farm, because until this place I never really had the chance to be able to farm ground that is level. And I've only ran that kicker on the baler once, so I think maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go engage it here and see what kind of job it does. You know, Dad's in his element running the 79 and that other rake. But the thing is, this stuff is so heavy. That's a 28.5-foot wide rake, how much material it'll pull in. And down here on first crop, you hardly open the rake up halfway, if even that. So it's, I've had it before where you drive about 100 feet and you have a bale. And people seem to like that stuff. I don't know, my cows eat it, so I mean, I don't know, there's people that get it and there's people that, you know, don't, just in regards to what kind of feed you're producing. I'm not trying to make, well, like mulch hay like Wes does, but I'm not trying to do that, but I am trying to get tonnage. Oh well, I'll catch up with you guys in a few. I don't have much battery left, and this has turned out a bit more hectic than I really care for it to. I actually was running the 82 and the 569 until this baler failed on us. I got the kicker running on that. It does work nice when you're on the flat. And disclaimer, the reason we don't run it on a regular basis is because of our rolling hills. I worry about sending a bale down through the neighbor's fence. And not gonna lie, I was definitely a little extra careful doing the outside around here around the river. Because the rules there are, he who is sitting in the tractor seat when the bale goes into the river is the one that gets to go swimming. So there's that. This is yielding okay. I don't know. This baler had 10 bales on it when I jumped in it to take it back home to work on it. The other baler had over 70. I talk about Ryan's driving skills or something going. Leaving an awful lot of windrows here. See, I'm not doing big circles just for the fun of it. We're not even halfway done, and it's 5 o'clock, and kind of low-key concerned we're gonna get this done tonight. I started it in before Ryan was able to get back, and I made the first 30 bales and it looked like I hadn't even started baling yet. So that was a little intimidating. Coming down here with just one baler, this would have been a 2-day job with one baler. Definitely been a 1-day job with just the 566. I mean, I am running, to be fair, I am running about the same speed we're running with the other baler. I was running that one at, how fast was I running? I might have my numbers mixed up because I'm running between 10th and 11th in the 82, and I'm running 11th in the 76, and that's about 6 miles an hour. That seems like we're running a little bit faster in the 82. I don't know, it's irrelevant. So it's just kind of surprising that a baler has been running since, I got a rear view camera on, I use it. We've had a baler running non-stop for 4 hours now, and we're still on the upper bottom. And this stuff, it really didn't look that bad when I was cutting it. It looked all right when I was tedding it out. Dad is raking it. Windrows look normal, but I will say that Dad, maybe Ryan has footage of Dad raking, but when Dad was running up here, because he still had about a third of this to rake when I got down here, it almost looks like the rake is about as wide as the tractor. I mean, the 79 has duals on it, but these passes, I don't know if you guys can see that, but these windrows really aren't that far apart, like hardly at all. So it might be kind of interesting getting it all moved in. We got more than just this field, this farm to haul in. There's actually here 2, 3, 4, 5 total fields that need to be picked up, moved, hauled in. But none of it is bound for a machine shed or a storage shed, so here we are. I am putting 4 wraps of net wrap on this stuff because I know it's sitting outside. I know it's gonna get abused. I don't literally mean abused, but it's gonna be handled a couple times between now and its final destination, wherever that is. And more wraps allows the bales to take more abuse. They also are able to shed rain a lot easier. And for being August, I don't really know how much rain we're going to get going forward here. I mean, I will say last year we got to September and we had 2 weeks of pretty consistent regular rain, but this stuff will all be stored outside, spaced apart, so we'll be able to breathe. Old fence row. It'll be able to breathe, it'll be able to air out, it'll be able to dry off. The faces of them are going to get sunburnt, sun bleached, but they're really not going to go down in quality. This stuff from here over, this is actually where the ground is a little bit damp yet. I'm sinking in. Ryan's got duals all the way around, but I can actually, he's got, the tires on the baler are just the slightest bit of moisture on them. But from where we're at, it's squeezing the moisture up out of the dirt. Sitting at, I'm not doing too bad. I've been going for, I'm at 42. I had 15 on the baler when I started, and I just got back down here at 20 after 4, and it's so 50 minutes of running. Well, it's better than nothing at all. I mean, it's yielding like it should on an average year. Would have been nice if I could have had it done a month ago. I mean, I'm gonna say there's an awful big question mark looming over this stuff as to how much is actually going to be here for any type of regrowth to try to get the second cut off of it. Because the second cut, That's if I go through and even cut 100% of everything, you know. Get what I can get off of it. And honestly, that'll be cow feed. Trying to spoil my cows a little bit more, which they are pretty tame. They're tamer than my brother. Well, I don't know how tame Ryan's cattle are, but my parents' cattle can be a little bit more tolerant of people. It's a knee-jerk reaction. It starts beeping and I want to shift in reverse. My cows are pretty chill. Gonna be weaning my calves off here before long. They're eating their creep feed regularly, and even the calves that were set back or kind of behind are. Did he just bail out? That jerk! I think Ryan just bailed out on us. Matter of fact, I know he did. He's gone. Unless that was Dad. Nope, he's gone. Ryan bailed out. He went down to the lower bottom. So he's still working, yes, but yeah, I got probably another dozen bales here to make yet. I wouldn't be surprised if I couldn't hit 100. I can hit 100 with this baler. There's got to be 100 on the other baler, maybe. But I really should get out and show you guys some of these bales because they do look nice. As I say, they feel heavy dropping off the back end. Problem is there's so much material going into the baler. I'm aiming for, you see right through here, this is all former swamp ground. Actually, it's still fighting to be swamp ground. This is stuff where when the fence was still here, oh yeah, I'm actually cutting in a little bit. As long as it'll carry the tractor enough to get the hay made off it, I couldn't care less. This, for, you know, having standing water on it, just actively farming it and keeping the material, the grass off of it, so it's not constantly growing, laying over, lodging, growing up, and it traps all that moisture in the ground. Then you got water standing. Ah, we're making ruts. No, that's not good. So we got the ups and downs of each of these balers right now. Because I'm not going to disagree with you. That kicker's nice on the level down here. So Ryan's got more horsepower, some more ponies, and the ejector kicker, and I got the rear view camera and experience. I usually like to let Ryan run the 569 because that baler tends to be more trouble-free, and with it being more trouble-free, if I got to wrangle with the baler, I just assume it'd be me over Ryan. That way he can just go. He's not fighting the baler. The problem is, I'm starting to think it's an operator issue because I'm not really having any problems. I didn't have any problems grunting a little bit. I didn't have any problems running the other baler. And Ryan was going to run this one. He was sure acting like he was just going to run this one. That's fine. Well, then he broke the chain, so then I swapped out with him so I could go back and get that fixed. Whatever. Oh, the last time we were baling, Ryan was running the 569, and he had some issue with the net wrap wrapping on one of the rolls. I can't say I've ever really had that problem. And he said it did give him a weird sensor warning. Net wrap. Oh, it was something about the net wrap. Net wrap failed to engage, or I don't know. That's probably has more to do with the rat being on that roll that he had to cut off. But I don't know. It's just nice to see the stuff getting made. Hopefully the lower bottom will actually go a little bit quicker. It's narrower, but it's longer. The advantage to that is that it's less turning. More or less just get on a pass and then just run. So there's that. I'm gonna catch up with you guys in a little bit. I want to focus on what I'm doing.